have to admit, I feel like a bit of an underachiever because my next guest has written 3 books. She speaks in front of large crowds. She's been on talk shows, Good Morning America, and guess what? She's only 11 years old. Adora joins me now. 11 years old, you've done all that. What's next?
I'm hoping to go to college, definitely. Publish some more books, continue teaching, I think, go along the same route. And another thing I'd like to do is enter journalism.
Oh, great profession. We need a lot more people. We need some smart people like yourself. Now, you've been called, Adora, a genius, a prodigy, a tiny literary giant. How do you deal with being called stuff like this?
Well, I think that I'm not really a prodigy or genius. I think that I have a gift in writing and that I try to share that with others.
You've done so much at just 11 years old. You write books, short stories, you type it all on your computer, and you've been doing this since how old?
Since I was 4, I was writing. At 6, I started really typing up my stories.
Wow. How did you learn this? Did your parents instill this in you, or where did it all come from?
Well, my parents read to me at a very young age, and I really started out by loving reading, and so naturally the second step was writing, and I just loved writing as soon as I started, and I would write on and on and on, and I just enjoyed it so very much. And so that's really how my parents encouraged me and helped me become such a good writer.
Where does your imagination come from? Because reading, I have one of your blogs here. Reading, you talk about, this is from June, the kitchen at night. I'll just read a little bit about it. I have a habit of staying up late, and I have a worse habit of eating late. At night, the kitchen is forlorn and dark and desolate. Big words here for an 11-year-old. Like a beach after all the swimmers and sunbathers leave, but littered with small treasures here and there. I mean, I don't know if I would write that well.
Oh, I'm sure you would.
You're
I
very
really
nice.
love describing, and the kitchen at night was something that I thought was an interesting perspective because most of us think of the kitchen, in daytime. So I just wanted to write about something that was kind of unique, and that's something that I try to do in all my writing, write about things that are unique and a different perspective on things. Like in my book, Young in Disguise, I took a kind of different perspective on politics. Instead of writing about just politics, I took a kind of political satire view. So I tried to apply those skills to my writing.
Wow, most teachers don't talk about satire in the 11-year-old group quite yet, so it's pretty impressive. You've talked about your lead characters in your books and how you like them to be multidimensional, be very involved, and come from a place, I guess, if I compare Cinderella and Beauty, the Sleeping Beauty, you say they didn't do much. Those are childhood characters that a lot of people look up to, and you say, my characters, they're going to do a little bit more. What's wrong with Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty?
Well, Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty are just sitting pretty waiting for Prince Charming to come and take them away. And I think that our female characters and stories need to do a lot more in that. They need to definitely be more active. They need to get out there and fight alongside the knights in shining armor instead of just waiting for the knights in shining armor to rescue them.
I like your ideas. Now, with all these achievements, today you spoke at the Washington Convention Center. You were lecturing other kids about your writing and your abilities. How do you relate to kids where you live? You live in Washington State, right? I mean, do you go out and play outside? Please tell me you spend hours in front of the video game or on the internet just goofing off.
I would not say hours. I do play video games. I do play outside. I love hiking and gardening and biking. And I play with my friends, go to birthday parties, sleepovers, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I do something that a lot of other kids maybe wouldn't do. I teach, I write, I love to watch news. So I think that I try to take the best of both worlds.
Is it hard for you to find friends that maybe understand you because you're so advanced?
Well, actually, there's a lot of talented people out there, and I think that a lot of kids, that every kid has something they can share that I don't necessarily know. So that's what I think about when I meet friends.
But is it tough? Because some kids, they can be competitive. They could also whisper and make fun of because you're on TV. You have such great abilities, and people look up to you. Do you ever find that that is an issue with making friends?
Actually, never. All of my friends have always been very supportive, and at the same time, it's not something that I'm not the only focus of attention. We talk about everybody, and then we go and make mud balls and throw them at random.
Good. So you get goofy and messy.
Yes.
And make your mom mad here and there?
Yes.
Good, because that's what you should be doing when you're 11 years old. Let's talk about your books. We've got your books here. You've written 3 books.
Yes.
Pretty neat. That third one over here,
Young in Disguise.
Young in Disguise, is your latest, and this is, it's a little political, right? Describe it.
Yes, well, actually, the main character, he is running away from his bloodthirsty father and athletic brother and they are trying to make him fight against rebellious peasants. And so the bloodthirsty father, King Ayakanoff, he is actually a little bit inspired by President Bush. And
so you follow the politics?
Yes, I do. And if you notice, one thing that I did was he's not so great at making speeches.
Unlike you. This book
you.
is how many pages long? It's in the 200s.
Oh yes, I think maybe 200.
Pretty impressive.
I lose page count.
And how much longer do you have in DC? Are you going to do any more lecturing?
Yes, actually I'm at the National Educational Computing Conference, and I will be speaking today at 3:45, and then also tomorrow at 11:30.
Wow, you could probably give some tips to people that are so scared of speaking in front of, large crowds and things like that. Do you picture them in their underwear like everybody says to do?
No, I do not.
Well, good luck to you. As you said, you're hoping to be what when you grow up?
I'm hoping to be a journalist, a teacher, and continue writing.
What I'm sure you will achieve. Adora, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
This third one, when did it come out?
Just about